Hey everybody. Today is going to be a little different type of reloading video, mostly because I've already done the reloading. What we're shooting today is the Hornady 168 grain boat tail hollow point match bullets. I'm hoping to find a load that will match this, the Federal Premium gold medal match. I'm going to be shooting this for sighters, the factory ammo, and we're going to get velocity data and everything for something to match. Now, my components are IMR 4064 for the powder. We're going to be going from a low charge of 40.6 grains to a high of 42.2, and using Winchester WLR primers and Federal brass once fired. Now, one thing I found when reloading the Federal brass is the primer pockets were already very loose, and this is kind of something I'd expected, as I'd read it a lot on the forums. So these will only be fired once, and I probably won't use Federal brass to reload in again, at least for 308. Now, the other thing is the Hornady me-plats are quite varied. Let me put a picture up here for you to see. I'm looking at the Sierra Match Kings right now. The me-plats look consistent across the tops. They're flat, they're uniform. The Hornady are not even close to the same. They vary in size all over the place. In fact, let me read to you from my notes a little bit here. The me-plats varied. The bullet overall length was from 1.224 inches to 1.235 inches. That's 11 thousandths of difference between bullets that I measured, and I only measured like 15. So the me-plats were a little bit different, and we ended up seating to Hornady's recommended overall length in the load manual, which was 2.8 inches. The jammed into the lands, it measured at 2.82 inches. So we really only have probably 15 to 20 thousandths jump. So that's going to be really good for us. The magazine's not a limiting factor. We got plenty of room in there. I chose the IMR 4064 because it is supposed to be what what Federal loads in their gold medal match ammo. So we're going to go with it and try and see how it does. Hornady did not have load info for IMR 4064 with their 168 grain match bullet. So I scoured around the web and found that for the most part you can shoot the same load data as Match Kings and get similar results. But as always, we're going to start low and work up. I will let you know if I get pressure signs along the way. A note about the weather today. It has greened up. There are bugs everywhere. I'm covered in DEET so as not to get trigger bites and spider bites and mosquito bites, but I'm still getting them. So we're going to shoot this, and I'm going to try not to get distracted. Okay, my lenses have cleared off. They were fogged up. So we're going to start with a sighter group at that lower right-hand target. And what I'm doing is aiming at the black box and trying to put the group on the lower part. I am only using my 12x Bushnell scope today, because I didn't feel like resighting in the 6-24. But my last group and my best group ever with the gold medal match is with this scope. Let's get to shooting here. Phonograph is reading. Okay, the bullet fell just a little high of where I wanted it to, so I'm going to come down another minute. Actually, let's go a minute and a half. And that's where I want the bullet impacts to be. Perfect. let's go ahead and throw one in. So that we have a 5-shot group and some there. Okay, so sadly that is about the limits of my accuracy potential, at least shooting off a sandbag like this. Alright, let me reset the chronograph for the next group and we'll move on to our hand loads. Okay, first group is 40.6 grains. I'm assuming we'll be in the 2450 range with this. Ah, 2574. Faster than I thought. No heavy bolt lift. No marks on the brass. Oh my gosh. Looks like we got 2 of the same velocities in a row. That's always a good sign. I'm gonna give the barrel just a second to cool down, and then we'll finish this group out. Good accuracy so far, though. I felt something a little different with that shot, and I think it was my pull. Pretty sure it was my trigger pull. I'm watching ticks crawl around on my notebook here. That's fantastic. Okay, I am going to give the barrel a second to cool. It is very hot. And we'll pick back up with our next group afterwards, but good velocities so far and good accuracy. The light has gotten quite bad for filming, but I have taken a break, pulled off ticks, reapplied bug spray, gotten a drink, let the dog out, let the barrel cool. It's now cool. Grabbed a thermocell just for extra, because the tick I pulled off me was a Lone Star tick, and I am not about to get alpha-gal. Not gonna happen. So, let's continue shooting. See if we can keep these good groups up. We are only 60 feet per second-ish from our target velocity. I'm definitely thinking we can get there with either this load or the one after it. If not, hopefully we'll hit a velocity plateau and kind of have several groups that are insane velocity, and that will be good. I don't anticipate getting up to the max charge that I have loaded. I just don't think we're going to get there. I think we're going to hit our velocity and maybe start seeing some pressure signs. I don't know, but we got 60 feet per second to go. 2620 is what we're shooting for. We were getting 2570-ish on the last one. So yeah, anyway, 50 feet per second-ish. Let's keep shooting and let's see what we get to. Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. And would you look at that, I screwed it up. I suppose it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Alright. Well, that last shot was at 2620, so we're at our velocity for the most part, but our spread's a little further. I'm going to give the barrel another second and we'll move on. Oh, I really wish I I'd have taken the time to put my good scope back on here, because parallax issues might kill me here on this group. Yeah, it's definitely going to be time for a barrel rest after this group. Well, we've got one ragged hole in the paper. It's a big ragged hole, but a ragged hole nonetheless. And we're up over 2,700 feet per second. No signs, no real signs of pressure. I'm trying to decide whether to shoot this next group or not. You know what? In pursuit of prudence and trusting my chronograph, I'm going to stop right there. There's no need to go any higher. The gold medal match has proven itself again and again to be a great load, and we're already getting velocities about 80 feet per second faster than it at this load, and the accuracy might be falling off just a hair, so I'm not going to push it. There's no need to. We've got a good load here. So we're going to quit for now, and let's get to where we've got some calipers and we can measure these groups. We are back down at the bench, and we're going to take a look at what the heck happened with this target. And that what the heck is in the best possible way, because these are some of the best groups that I've ever shot. So what we're going to be looking at is group size, not only 5-shot groups, but 4-shot groups, because as you can see, there were several times that I did quite a bit better with 4 shots than 5. And honestly, this is the shot that ticked me off the most on this group, because I was holding such a tight little group there. Anyway, our baseline is right over here. This is our federal gold medal match, and we got an average velocity of 2620, a standard deviation of 20, which is not great. But the group size was 0.894 inches with a 4-shot group of 0.790. Now, this is a warm-up shot, and you can see that I did shoot one extra right here, and then adjusted. So this is 5 shots, and then that's the first one. So here's our group, and you can see we're not holding too bad. So there was one shot to kind of foul the bore, and then they grouped like that, which is not bad at all, and this is some of the best shooting factory ammo that I've ever had. Anyway, moving on to our hand loads, which were way more exciting. Check out this extreme spread and standard deviation on this first group. Extreme spread of 9, SD of 3. That's crazy low, and a really good indicator that this load is going to be fantastic. 5-shot group of 0.895, and a 4-shot group, the best 4 you can see right here, 0.550. For my shooting and my setup, that is phenomenal. The next group was the one that absolutely blew me away. Those 4 shots went into 0.268 inches. It was kind of hard to measure because all of this right in here is just a smear. I had to fill this back in. As you can see, it's busted out of the page like this. But what I ended up doing was measuring from the center of this lead mark to the center of this main hole over here. 4 shots into 0.268 inches. That's kind of incredible. Then this one shot that ticked me off threw it out to 0.769 inches. Still 1 MOA overall, not going to complain. I say 1 MOA again because remember, this is at 75 yards and not 100. The next group was even better overall. 5 shots into 0.632 inches, and then the best 4, which you really don't even need to take on this target because that's just excluding that shot right there. but that makes it a 0.530. Now, what makes me think that this right here, 41.4 grains, is the load we're probably going to go with, is that our numbers also looked better. So we are, with the last group, we were right at 2611 for our average, and our standard deviation and extreme spread were a little wider. Over here, we get an excellent group, and we tighten our extreme spread to 16, and the standard deviation to only 6. This is the load that I'm going to be doing more testing with in the future. The last group we shot opened things up a little bit, and it could just be because I was slightly fatigued at this point and the barrel was getting warm, whatever. But it's still not a bad group, and it actually looks worse than it is, because it's about the same both directions. But 5 shots into 0.795 and 4 shots into 0.735. Again, an MOA group there. I'm not going to complain whatsoever. But our velocity, oh, let me look at this again because it looks like I forgot to write it down from the chronograph. Okay, so I've got my numbers on here, and you can see that the numbers start getting ugly. Now, I'm not seeing any pressure signs on the brass. 0 pressure signs whatsoever. I am confident that this would be a safe load to shoot through my gun, but the numbers start opening up. Extreme spread of 60 and a standard deviation of 22. The average velocity for this one was 2691 with our high. Let me see what our high was here. High was 2721. Now, when you compare that to our gold medal match with an average of 2620, that's 100 feet per second more than the average for our gold medal match. I already know that this gold medal match can tend to be on the little bit higher side of loading, so I do not want to be shooting this load. Though it's probably not going to hurt anything to shoot through my gun, and again, I wasn't seeing any pressure signs, I just don't want to go anywhere near that high. So we are going to nix that load from consideration. That was 41.8 grains. So we're really going to be looking at this range right here, 41.0 to 41.4 grains. And we'll probably do some fine tuning in this range to get exactly what we want. But for now, dang, those two groups, absolutely fantastic. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We've got more coming up in 308, more in 6.5 Grendel. In way of announcements, real quick before we end, I had said back in January or so that we were going to be shooting a Yeti with a 50 cal. And that is a promise that I fulfilled. But the video that I got for it was so crappy, I am not gonna even post it online. I should have not said anything and just waited until I had the video ready to go before I hinted to it. So if y'all want to see the crappiest video I have ever filmed, let me know and I'll post it up. Even if 1 or 2 guys say they want to see it, then I'll post it up, but it's not great as far as quality goes. Again, thank y'all for watching. If you like this kind of video, hit that subscribe button with notifications. That's going to really help us out on the channel. It's going to help me to decide whether this channel is feasible to continue in the long run.